hadn't seen enough film to this point to really have a good evaluation of them. I do know, though, the two guys offensively that stand out to me is their quarterback. He's an outstanding football player. He can run and throw very well. He's very athletic, good arm, and a very good player for him. The other guy that stands out for Marshall is their tight end. I think I'm right. He's their leading receiver. I think he has 60 catches on the year, and he's kind of like David Ziegler, not overly big, not overly fast, but just a good athlete, good football player that makes a lot of plays for them. And so they got two guys offensively. I think we got to make sure we know where they're at. Running backs, I think, are pretty decent. I don't think they're. I would compare them very favorable to the two guys that they had at Memphis last week, so they'll be capable of running the football. Defensively, I think the strength will be the front seven. They've got a linebacker, number 45, who does a nice job for them, and they've got some size and strength up front defensively, and so I think that's the strength of the program of their team defensively. So that's kind of where we're at. We're just kind of getting started with the evaluation and analyzing the game as film-wise, and so we'll know more about them here this afternoon or tonight. But it'll be a big challenge for us. The last game, we all want to win this game for a lot of reasons. I think several the two that stand out to me. One would be for the seniors, to let them leave this program with a good taste in their mouth, and also to try to build some type of momentum for us going into next year. So I think it's a game that we're going to try very hard to win and give it our best shot and see what we got.
You talk about the seniors. I know you've only been around 1 year, but kind of just what's been your impression of this senior class, and what kind of stands out or jumps out to you about this class as a whole?
I think I'm right. There's 17 of them, I think they're all good guys. I think they're all care about UAB. I think they've bought into what we want to do. Anytime there's change, I think it's always hard on the seniors and us as a new staff coming in and implementing what we want to do and how we want to do things. The guys that are here are really bought into it, and I'm tickled to death with what they've done.
What's the mood of the team following the Memphis loss? I mean, I know we've had several losses, but Memphis has tended to dominate in the past.
Well, you're upset anytime you lose. Obviously, I felt the same feeling in the dressing room after the game, but just like any loss. But I think our guys have done a good job of being somewhat resilient and putting it behind them. I thought Sunday night, last night when we practiced, I didn't see any after effects or hangovers from it per se. I think they're ready to move on.
Talking about that resiliency, have y'all had to do anything to keep the spirit up?
Well, we've talked a lot about it in the last 3 or 4 weeks, playing for each other, trying to right the ship, trying to get things going in the right direction. But we've continued to work hard. We've continued to be demanding on them. We've not altered what we've done. So we're just trying to be positive and as much as you can, but put the negatives behind us and move forward.
Any other questions?
Coach, on a different subject, Iron Bowl weekend is this weekend. You've played in this game. What makes it so special?
I think the interstate rivalry, I think there's a lot of good rivalries around, but to have two programs that of that magnitude in the same state, I think makes it as big as it is.
How was it for you personally?
Some good, some bad.
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, are you worried that with the other two big schools having their big game this weekend, is that going to be any distraction for your guys at all? Or?
No, not at all. We're worried, like I've said all along, we're worried about UAB. We're not worried about Alabama or Auburn or anybody else. We're going to build this program here that we can all be proud of it, and that's what our focus is and will always be.
practices? Was it not quite where you wanted it the other night?
Well, I think we're at a point now where it's a combination of, I would think everybody, excluding the corners, because when you defend the run, there are gap responsibilities. It starts with the defensive lineman, whipping their blocker and staying in their gap and being able to separate and make a play. The next phase is the linebackers have got to fit off the defensive lineman first, to their gap responsibilities, and then secondly, the safeties have got to fit off that. So, to say it's, I can't say it's been the D-line, linebackers, safeties, it's been all three. I think, we got to we're young up there, we're beat up right now, but, we got what we got, and we're going to continue to work and practice hard tomorrow. And see if we can't stop Marshall from running the ball down our throat like everybody else has.